We're talking about customer service during a crisis. And who better to talk about customer service than you with your fabulous resume? For people who don't know Dan, he is the former vice president of Magic Kingdom here in Orlando, Walt Disney World. And talk to us, Dan, a little bit about your Disney journey, and then also how customer service has weaved into every core value that you have now and that you teach on stages across the world.
Yeah, sure. So I grew up in Maryland. I went to high school there and went to Boston University. And I worked my sophomore year at BU. I came down to Florida and worked on the Walt Disney World College program. And I spent the summer at the front desk at the Contemporary Hotel. And then I went back to school for 2 years. And when I graduated, I came back down to Disney. And they interviewed for jobs. And they said, "What do you want to do?" And I said, "Well, I'm a political science major. What should I be doing?" And they said, "You should be parking cars at Epcot." So that was my first job, and that's a common story among managers and executives at Disney. Most people started on the front line, and it's really important for us that people who work there in management understand what the frontline experience is, because that's really where all the value happens. All the 74,000 cast members are interacting with the 50 million guests a year. And as a leader, you have to understand how important that is. So got that experience. And then for the next, I did that for 6 months. I moved to France to open Disneyland Paris in 1992 and opened the parking lot over there because I was now an expert in parking. And
with a college degree, no less.
Yeah. And I stayed there for 5 years. I was supposed to go for a year and a half with my work visa, and my wife is from France. We started dating in the States, and then we were dating in France, and then we moved in together, and then finally, right with like 5 weeks to go, we were trying to figure out a solution. I said, "You know what? I have a solution. If we get married, I can stay, and this seems to be going pretty well." And she said, "All right, let's do it," and that was it. So 5-week engagement, we got married, and we stayed there for 4 more years. So we were there for a total of 5 years. I worked as a frontline manager there. And then we moved back to Florida in 1997, and I spent the next 22 years at Walt Disney World as an operations manager. I was a general manager of some of the resort hotels. I was a general manager of some of the businesses in the parks. And then my last 9 years at Disney, I was the vice president of Epcot for 2 years, Disney's Hollywood Studios for 4, and then the Magic Kingdom for 3 years. And then about 3 years ago, Valerie and I started chatting and said, "What are we doing next?" Because our 3 kids were the last ones going to be going off to college. And we decided we were going to take a leap and try something different. So I left 2 years ago this month, and we started our own consulting company. And that was it. And so I went from a 26-year veteran and executive in a big, great company to now, as I like to call us, budding entrepreneurs. So every day is a new learning for us, and it's been great. It's been scary, it's been exhilarating, it's been stressful. There's days when we're so happy, and so it's a whole new life. But it really kind of recharged us to have a new challenge, I'd say.